Recording and transcription have started. Let everyone know they're being recorded. Joe, this is recording already and transcribed.
Okay, got it.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's do it. Hi, Joe. Welcome to my podcast.
Thanks, Nicky. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to talking all things MBA with you.
Uh-huh. Hey, I told you that we're gonna do a podcast like last minute, a week before. Thanks for coming.
No problem at all. Like, I'm excited to take a trip down memory lane, even though it's only been a few months, and talk about what I learned and my experiences.
Yes. So for context, I started this podcast originally to increase foreign direct investments into Indonesia. Uh, but then I started interviewing people not from business, and I got really excited to go into politics and go into the policy side of I guess organization and all that. So that's one of my original motivation, but it's it it sort of, I don't know, changed along the way, just to have a nice conversation with smart people like you, you know.
No, it
uh,
sounds great, and I'm excited to hear more about it.
Hello, I don't know what
Hello,
happened there.
I'm
I
here.
think it
I'm here.
stopped record. It's still recording, right? Yeah, it's still recording. Okay. J- Great. I was saying that for background, Joe is my friend from IESE, and he's also the class president. But most of all, he's the nicest guy I've ever met. So I'm looking forward to learn from you and stay in touch with you, man. But no, please, can you introduce to the listeners, where you come from, and yeah, what
Yeah,
you
I
do
mean,
now.
first of all, I think Nicky, you've been way too kind with my introduction. I'm definitely not the nicest guy you've met. I'm sure there are much nicer people in the NBA at least than me, certainly. Um, But no, I'm from the UK, from London. I originally I studied history, then worked in journalism, in TV journalism. Then I decided to leave London, move to Barcelona, and work in marketing. And then when I was in marketing, I decided I wanted a career change and to get back into something that I was passionate about. And that's when I heard about the MBA and heard about the advantages of it. So I did some research, found out some of the great things about it, the fact that it would get you on the right career path, and decided to apply. And that's how I ended up at IESE. And now I'm about to start on Monday, actually, and start working at Amazon here in Mexico City as a senior product manager. So looking forward to it, and it's thanks to the MBA that I managed to get here. So very grateful for the opportunity I had.
That's amazing. I also started the MBA to find a good career path, and maybe we can like dive deeper into the career later on. But uh, what was, and I can share first maybe the motivation, personal motivation for me was actually to escape what I was doing before. For me, I felt that the company that I was in, it was lacking innovation kind of thing. It was a traditional company with good market share already, but it wasn't a very dynamic where they can take a risk. For example, that was me. But what was like your thought process when you were still working and maybe a year or 2 years before the MBA?
Yeah, I mean, it was largely similar. Like I wanted to do something, I wanted a different career, and I wanted to get the experience of working in a big company and to see how they work and to learn. And I know that one of the advantages of the MBA is that it gives you the opportunity to apply for jobs at some of the biggest and most impressive companies in the world, such as Amazon, for example. So my thinking was to apply, and then once I was at the MBA, then explore the opportunity, see what industries were out there and see what sort of fit. Even before the MBA, my plan was consulting or tech. And as the MBA continued, it became clear that tech was a priority for me, and that's sort of how I ended up working in Amazon afterwards. So I think a big part of that was thanks to the MBA.
Oh, okay. I did not know tech was a thing that you were going for. Was there any other thing that you were going for aside from technology?
Yeah, like I went for consulting as well, and I thought my priority was tech, but I also went hard and worked hard for consulting as well because I thought that would be another great avenue to go down. And I was sort of happy with either of them. I didn't get a consulting offer, but then I got a tech offer, so that's kind of how I ended up here.
Yeah. I also went through the consulting preparation. That was my first goal to go into career. Um, I learned that in consulting you sort of have to be in it to win it. As in, you got to prepare a lot for it. And although I prepared a lot for it, it was not meant to be, at least for me. What do you think people should learn or prepare when they go into consulting preparation?
Um, I think it's, in our case, it was follow the recommendation of the consulting club and practice sort of all the cases, prepare your fit, make sure you're able to speak concisely, make sure you're able to get your point across using data easily, and so it's easy for the interviewer to understand. And
Yeah.
make sure you're hitting all of the core skills, such as the ability to do quant quickly, mental maths, to read charts, to understand sort of business terminology, be able to look at a balance sheet or income statement, and then also understand exactly why you want to go into consulting or motivates you, because that's also important because it needs to come across to the interviewers that you really want to be there, and that's your next step in life.
Yeah, for that's if anyone wants to know the consulting clubs from ESA, yeah, they can definitely shoot to the consulting club of ESA, and they go if they go to other schools, they can also reach out there. But I definitely agree that following what has been said already is gonna pay a lot of dividend. Yeah, that's true. Nice. Okay. Well, I know that you did an internship at TikTok. The biggest social media company right now, and I interned at venture capital. So not too bad, non-consulting, but we went to other cool dynamic companies. Um, and now that you are in Amazon in Mexico, uh, do you think that Amazon is Amazon deserves you? Is it a good company? Should people go for Amazon? Because a lot of people think that Amazon is really tough, really cutthroat. So my question is, do people will people does Amazon deserve you?
Um, I mean, so in terms of what it's like at Amazon, I don't know because I haven't started yet. So I guess in a few weeks I'll be able to give an idea. But I say for sure. I mean, I think the advantage of working at a company as successful as Amazon is that you're getting an insight into what makes them successful, and you're understanding what works and what doesn't. And if you even just spend like 1 or 2 years there, then you'll pick up so many things that can only help you going forward in your career. So it's kind of an extension of the MBA where people who say that you learn the best when you're working on the job day in, day out. I think that will be the case with Amazon. But let's see how it goes.
Right. Yeah. Right. You haven't started it. That's good. Good point. Very good point. So I had the pleasure to be neighbors in the classroom with Joe, and from what I experienced there, uh, you are very vocal and you say the things that are needed to be said to start a discussion, right? Uh, how do you think one can prepare for a case study, how should they overcome their fear of saying what they think is stupid if they want to participate in class?
I think what you do first of all is make sure you come prepared for the class. So obviously read the case, discuss it with your teammates, and share some of your views because they can act as a filter. Where if you give some of your opinions, some of them they might look at and nod and say yes, that was good, and then you at least know then that those are ones that you can then might be able to introduce in class. So I think a lot of it comes in the preparation of making sure you understand exactly what the case is about and that you have a viewpoint before you go into class and that you're willing to raise it. And then it's just the always remembering that ultimately in that room you're just around people the same similar age to you, similar experience, who have the same insecurities and are also very scared about looking stupid when they make points. And that sort of makes it easier for you because then you know, look, I'm here to learn. If I don't raise this point and find out the answer, then I'll never know. And ultimately, the teacher is a teacher. They're supposed to be teaching, and they can't teach you if they don't know what you're thinking. So that kind of motivated me to be there to learn.
Okay, I think nice. Got caught off a little bit there, but you were mentioning that the teachers won't know what you have to say unless you participate, right? Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Nice. Cool. Well, for me, the MBA was not only a great academic experience, but also a reflection journey. I know that I was good in maybe creative thinking, but I wasn't good at data crunching analytical things. Uh, for example, maybe in the first classes, I was struggling in ABP. There was a lot of analysis and all that, but then after time goes on, I know that I cannot rely on myself. I have to realize I have to ask help from my teammates and all that. Uh, have you ever come to a point where also that the MBA and life also needs the help of others, and I can share who helped me after in the MBA. Have you had that experience where you were stretched and you needed to ask for advice from people?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was, it's always difficult when you're balancing the career with the academia and with the socializing as well. Those are obviously the three key main areas of the MBA, and can get overwhelming at times. And especially if you have exams coming up, and then you have interviews around the same time, it seems never ending. But that's why you have your peers, your fellow classmates, because you can talk about everything. And you have the like the career guidance counselors as well that you can go and speak to about anything regarding the career. There's always That's the beauty of it. There's always people who are as lost or struggling as much as you, and then you can share those experiences and move on from there.
No, I don't think people are as lost as I am, or at least I don't want to admit that I need help, Joe. I don't. No, I want to do everything myself, and it's my own journey. No, that is for me. It didn't work. For me, working on my own, it didn't work, and not only because the school grades us based on our networking skills and teamworking skills, but if you want to go far you cannot do it alone. So uh for example, I was really struggling in my first year. I was in a new country. I didn't speak the language. I still don't speak the language, and I didn't know that it was this tough. The academics was this tough. I was really struggling to read the case before my team meetings. It was really dense, and I couldn't, I don't know, handle everything. Maybe it was the fact that I kind of resisted the difficulty. I didn't really accept. Okay, this is harder than I thought, and I'm normal to be struggling. So it was self-inflicted thing, I have to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's the problem, I guess, is that unless you speak up, then no one knows what you're going through. I think that's one of the difficulties with it, is that it can be tough for people to reach out to others and say, "Hey, I'm struggling with this. I need help." And unless you do that, then no one's going to be there to help you. So that's one of the great lessons, really, in life.
And it's a it's a great lesson because uh, on one hand, you will learn that I will learn as I will learn because I'm still working on this is that I'm happier when knowing that I am incomplete. Knowing that I lack. There's a saying, like there's a Christian saying like I'm imperfectly I'm perfectly imperfect in the sense that when you accept yourself and you know your limits, you will become more fulfilled and you will know yourself better. And uh, so for me, the MBA was like a transformational journey in the personal side. I I I know myself, and I know that I'm not good at as I said before, maybe in the numerical skills, and I need to improve on that. Um, so I'm still networking with people from alumni and people younger than us to get their experience. So I'm lucky to be in a school where the community is so strong, which I think that ESA's strong points is the community. There's so many people in the school who are ex MBAs, and uh, it's a really intense community for those who want to work together with people. Don't you think so? Or Is that is that your
Yeah,
impression of the community?
yeah, I'd say so. Like, I mean, it's ultimately you have 350 people who are very ambitious and want to do well, and they're coming together, and you're fighting over the same jobs. And it can be tough because, especially when you see others doing well and getting jobs that you want, you're missing out on them. Then it can be difficult. So for sure, it can be very intense. And then on top of that, you have a high workload. Plus, you have like the busy social scene as well. So it's for sure it can be difficult. And again, it's just all about speaking up and showing your vulnerabilities because everyone else has the same concerns as well. Like you're never really alone in this.
Yes, I completely agree. I think that if I had shown more vulnerability or as being more open, I think that I would have enjoyed the process more for sure. Yeah, yeah, cool. Let's move to the fun side. What were the funnest things? And I know that there are a lot of fun things that we all did. For example, our class went to the traditional calçot dinner, and that's one out of many, which is I think one of the best Catalan food and the best food I've ever had. I think the calçots. But what were the fun things of which events or trips were your favorites?
Man, there were so many. I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I think yeah, the best thing was just that every couple of weeks there was a trip happening, especially second year as the pandemic wound down, and we were able to go abroad to places such as I don't know Lebanon, going to Rome, traveling around Spain, going to Valencia, going to the south of Spain, going to Portugal. There were so many cool things that we did, and yeah, it was a fantastic experience for that because you were just able to explore so many cultures through the eyes of people from the class who wanted to show you where they're from and what they love so much about it. So I think for sure those trips are ones that stand out. going to Kenya as well and doing the module there was amazing. It was like a once in a lifetime opportunity, what I saw there. And yeah, I think it's just something I will look back on for years to come and be very grateful for having that opportunity.
That's amazing. That's amazing. No, those trips are amazing. They especially go with your friends, right? I didn't go to those trips that you mentioned, but we did go to Ibiza together at the end of the first year. That was amazing. That was quite intense partying, where we partied like, on the rooftop with the silent disco, where we organized it ourselves. Well, not I don't know if you were in part of the committee, but people like Nadia, who were the organizers, they went above and beyond, right, to have the systems in. And I think that shows how much we have to be proactive to organize these things. And if not, then you will not enjoy these things, right? um like for example, on the boat to the Ibiza, I initially didn't want to go because I thought it was expensive and all that. Yes, it was expensive, but like it's not expensive if you want to make memories, you're the one who told me also like, okay, but like everyone's going, and it sort of tells me, okay, it's not just work, it's not just business, it's people, it's friends, it's meeting, it's all that. So that's what I love about the MBA. Cool. Okay, maybe talk about something more fun and maybe opinionated. Our class have different sections, right? And we were in one of them sections. Which section is your favorite?
I mean, I guess I have to say our section, Barcelona section, right? Like it's in the contract, you have to always say yours is the best. But no, it was fun being in a section because you're able to really get to know at a close level a group of 50 people or so, and see them every day for a few hours and see what makes them tick, what they enjoy talking about, and the points they make, and having the debates, and hanging out with them outside of it, going for lunches and everything. It's amazing. It's one of the most unique experiences of doing an MBA, especially at IESE. I think I don't know if they do that at other MBAs, but it was great fun. And obviously, I didn't have the privilege of sitting in with the other sections, but I know that and ours was very enjoyable. And you had some big personalities and had some great discussions with them.
Yeah, that's just for a background. A section is sort of like a class. A class is around 50 people, and that's the people who we hang out with for the first year, for the whole of the first year. And we do the same classes, same teachers, and we sort of bond together because we see everyone every day, right? And we struggle together, we find jobs together, get rejected together, get accepted together, and party outside together. Come to think of it, the first year is sort of like its own master's program. It's like its own building foundational kind of thing. Yeah. No, I think our section is the best. We are very adamant in our opinion. We're very I don't want to say ruthless, but someone in our section did get the vote for who will be the richest person in the world. So that goes to show how good our section is. Joe, I don't know if you like the academics so much. I did from ESA. Who's your favorite professor?
Oh man, you put me on the spot. I have to think. Uh, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, there were, we had some great ones. Like I really enjoyed Ale Lago, for example, because he was someone who came to classes with so much energy, and it was infectious, and he got you really excited and interested in the classes. Miguel Anton had a great way of simplifying some of the most complex business problems, making you understand it in a very easy way. And I enjoy like our basketball professor Elena because she was able to structure the class in an excellent way, and you always came away feeling like you'd learned something new about marketing. And Carlos Garcia Pon in ABP, and just the way that he would give you insights that you would sit there and think, of course, that's obvious, but that's something I never thought of before. It's brilliant. And just those moments of like interest were definitely made the classes worth it. But I mean, there were loads of great professors. It's one of the advantages of doing an MBA.
Yeah, there were too many people. I know that it's hard to pick a person, and I'm not gonna pick a person, but I am actually one of my favorite professor, and so far is Professor Heinrich Lichtenstein, who taught the PEVC. It's funny, actually. I reached out to him not before the MBA, but during the MBA, and he found me in the email with. I didn't tell him what my email is, but I did want to impress him and saying that, I'm interested in what he does in finance. But I remember him wanting to talk to my friend who was applying to IESE without knowing my friend. So she got accepted to IESE. She also got accepted to uh, our rival in the French school and in the other France school, and she went to that school. But what I'm trying to say is that the people in ESA, the professors are they go beyond the call of duty to help you and to get to know. And that's just one example. Um Ines Serra, my no Ines Ines Professor Ines Alegre. Um, she was my team mentor, and she gave me some ruthless advice, and I'm happy to go into that. She told me that the MBA is not just about making friends, but it's about work. It's about professionalism. It's not just, you're not just to make friends, and that sort of opened my eyes to see, yeah, the business schools in a different way. I'm sort of, I can be lovey-dovey at times, maybe too much time to say that, okay, if you're good friends, you don't have to work. That's me on a bad day, I guess. But no, some professor will tell you like it is directly. So I'm really thankful that I got advised that there are many different ways to see what your current responsibilities are. Yeah. So that's what I would tell myself in the MBA. I would first ask for help, and second, see businesses in a different way that you see it. For example, I saw it only social, but no, it's also for data, it's for business, it's for results. Don't care about relationships too much. And third, I would tell myself that um, the more it's an ROI. The more you put in, the more you get out. So the more you're open to people, the more you're going to get. Uh, what would you tell yourself before the MBA, on your perspective, just for you?
Well, what would I say I could have done better, do you
Yes.
mean? What could I have done better? Um, I think not to get too stressed out by the career side of things, and to realize that there are lots of opportunities and that something will come. And I think just to remember to enjoy it, because it's 2 years where you're not going to get fired, you're not under review constantly, and you're with friends, and there's always events happening. And also, I think to remember that you don't need to do everything. You can take time for yourself to get away from it, and to sort of recuperate and to be on your own, and that it was always going to be there, and that you could go back to it, and that whatever happens in the MBA is not the end of the world. Like, it gets amplified because you're in this bubble where everyone's talking about everything, but it always seems more dramatic than it is.
Yes, we do for sure. That's that's great advice for me as well. But would you have expected that you'd be giving the speech in the graduation?
Um, No, I mean, it was more something where, I'd heard about the class presidency early on, and I thought that's something that I could be interested in. But I thought I wanted to first make sure I had my career sorted and I knew what I was doing after. And then once I had that done, I then thought about it more, spoke to people who spoke to previous class presidents and spoke to others, and I thought, okay, this is something that I might be able to do. So I thought, let's give it a try. And then, yeah, I was lucky enough to do it, and it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Joe made a great speech in the graduation, and he really touched my heart by being so vulnerable and raising issues that was taboo in the establishment of ESA, such as gay rights. Right at the speech, um, it was so refreshing to hear that. I want to talk about that speech, and I read your speech again last night, and it was really inspiring. Um, you you just took us on a journey of being responsible for your journey. You didn't blame anyone for whatever inequality there's in the world, but you took it upon yourself to reflect how this impacts you, right? And uh, I guess what what I took from that is that what I took from you is and you shared this um in class as well. And I sometimes struggle with forgiveness to other people. People who've done me wrong, or I think of who've done me wrong, and I don't want to forgive them because I feel like I'm better than them. I feel that you've done that, Joe, and you've done that because you are in a Catholic school, and you've shared it in class that your father was abused by your grandfather in the classroom, but you still go to ESA. How do you forgive other people?
I think it's about empathy, right? It's about um, sharing, trying to put yourself in the position of others and understanding where they come from and understanding what they think. I think when you do that, you then able it's much easier to forgive and to realize that people's actions are made a lot of the time because of the background of that person, how they were brought up, where they grew up, and what beliefs were sort of instilled in them. And when you think of it like that, then it's a lot easier to forgive people.
Wow, wow, that's empathy. Empathy is like it's really hard to do. I don't want to forgive because I don't want to. I don't care there are other people. I don't care what other people's side, right? No, that's amazing, and I think empathy will make people like you even stronger, and you're going to relate to more people in the corporate world and outside as well. Yes, but I think how the ESA taught me is that and this is from your speech as well, is that it doesn't matter where we have experienced before. It's it's what we do with what we have right now. And it's our choice, and we always have a choice to be happy or not happy. I guess. um cool. So you are you are going to start in Amazon next week. um you're going to start in a great company, a big company, and I'm going to figure out what to do because I don't know what to do yet. I'm still I'm still asking around. I'm still asking myself what I want to do. Uh, there are too many options with an ESA MBA. Um, and I was just talking with the ESA. MRM student about making decisions. Sometimes you're just scared to make a choice. I don't want to choose one career advice or opportunity in Jakarta because, for example, I had met a girl here, or I don't want to work in Barcelona because uh I want to go into politics in Jakarta. There's like uh, too many choices and all that. Um, but I'm gonna look at your speech again. I'm gonna replay that speech again and find out what I want. Know what I want. What should us business professionals do in you know in society?
Oh, very open question. I mean, I guess what we need to do is outside of the business, think about what we're doing and how we can help those who are most in need and most vulnerable in society. Because those are the ones who don't have the support needed in order to get our opportunities. So of course, companies are profit driven. So of course, that needs to be a motivation. But then we're seeing more and more with um, outreaches for sustainability, for example, that it's important that these businesses who have influence are able to do things that are good as well. And to keep thinking, what are we doing that's helping the world or improving it?
Nice, nice, nice. Well, that's good luck. That's my homework too. You just slapped me in the face to think about the society at a more priority level, like not not tomorrow but today. That's great. Okay. Um we have some questions from the audience, from the questions that we have asked. So one of the things that they ask, some are funny, some are just too dramatic, just a joke, I guess. But on a more funny questions, Joe. Um no, actually, I'll ask the more serious ones, Joe. So you can repeat your speech because I don't think it's on social media yet. uh uh so Joe, was it worth it?
The MBA,
The MBA, was the
I'd
MBA
say yes,
worth it?
definitely, because I learned a lot. I met great people. Had many experiences where I was able to see so many cool things. Try new foods, new sports, explore different careers, find out a bit more about myself, and ultimately I was able to land a great job. So I'd say across the board, it was definitely worth it.
Yes. If someone asked me the same question, I would agree. I would agree. Yes. I think I've put so much into it that I've gotten back a couple of times over that. uh, I just want to keep it for myself, accept that I had a good time and use that to my advantage and to others and to others. Yeah. If I asked that when I was struggling, I would have not been so quick to say it, but that would be quite, I don't know, that would be a choice that is not so uh positive, and we won't be getting what we are going to have, like the good things, like a good career, if we focus on the past, I guess. Yeah. So another question is, I'm happy to answer this first, but uh you can, are you more of a cat or are you more of a dog? I can go for it. I would say sometimes I'm more of a dog most of the time. I'm just like lovey-dovey. I would like hug people, and I would like just go crazy, you hump their leg and like shit on the garden. Like I'll be like just smiling and rainbows all around. But but when I look at YouTube videos of cat, I could use a little bit of their assertiveness and their confidence and their I need my own time kind of thing for me. That's for me. How about you?
Yeah, I'd say in my case, my son is Lobo, which means wolf. So I say I'm a wolf. That's what I'm more like.
Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Lobo is a wolf, right, in Portuguese?
Exactly, exactly.
That's me. I mean, the wolf pack. That's wolf pack. Oh man. Cool. Don't eat me. Okay, don't eat me. Cool. And also another question: when is going to be the reunion, and where?
Good question. Something we'll look at in a few months, but I think probably around next June. And I think, well, we'll confirm later. But it's definitely something we'll start planning in the coming months. So watch this space.
All right. Okay. Great. Great. I'm looking forward to hear the news. Okay. Joe. Thank you. I think that wraps it up for this particular episode. Um, would love to get you on again in the future, and would love to stay in touch as well in the meantime.
Oh, thank you very much, Nicky. And it was great to reminisce about what were 2 great years. And it was a pleasure to join you and talk about it.
Cool. Great. Thanks.
Thank you very much.